I can offer you 45,000 per month.
Pass. Two aces. I want 70,000 per month.
Bluff. So, let's discuss your salary expectations. In an ideal world, a negotiation would play out truthfully, where both the parties are genuine and upfront with each other.
I want 55,000 per month.
That's fair. Done. But in the real world, it becomes more like a game of bluff.
I want 70,000 per month.
I can offer 45,000,
60.
55,000.
Okay.
Done. Where the player that can lie more tactfully, hide the truth strategically, twist the facts to their advantage, and most importantly, do all of this with a straight face is the player who has more chances of winning the negotiation. The rules for such a negotiation are simple. Every piece of information you say is like the card you play. You can choose to be truthful and safe, but that way is boring and it will take you a lot of time to empty your deck. But if you bluff, you can win big. If you were truthful and the other player called you out, you would get some leverage. But if you were bluffing and you were called out,
Seven of diamonds.
bluff.
Three aces.
Bluff. The interesting thing about a negotiation or even life is that you can't control the cards you're dealt. You have to play with the cards you get. Like Anmol, who has a 1-year career gap, which makes his profile disadvantageous. His last drawn salary was just 4.5 LPA in 2023. He was a data analyst at his previous firm, and we've shortlisted him now for a product analyst role. Despite performing well in technical interviews, he still has to combat this weak profile, and it is going to be a tough negotiation for him. At the same time, the cards I have been dealt is the budget given to me by the company. Even if I want to be fair to his skills and pay him the market rate, I can't. I'm not allowed to. My performance is directly tied to how frugally I can get candidates. That's just the way this world works. Let's see what he quotes. Yeah. So what's your expectation, Anmol?
I'm hoping to get 65,000 rupees per month. Ideally, I would have refrained from quoting my number first. But I'm already starting from a disadvantage, so it's better to stay away from such power plays this early on. I don't really expect 65,000, and she knows it. The first number that is spoken in a negotiation is always a bluff, no matter who says it. She knows that the number I've said, I will actually be willing to accept much lesser than that. And the number she's going to say next is going to be way lower than what she's willing to spend for this role. It's still the start of the game, the stakes are lower, and you can bluff without major consequences. Everyone has a tell. I also have a very specific tell. I can't control it, and that's my weakness. No one can control it. But I think she's going to use my career gap as an excuse to get away with paying me less than the budget. And while it looks like that might be a disadvantage for me, I can actually try to use that as a leverage. The other finalists will be quoting market rates, while she can hire me for less. So I'll use that to my advantage. You don't play the cards, you play the player.
65,000 per month. Your previous salary was 32,000 per month. You want more than 100% hike after a year's career gap. We can continue this discussion if you get realistic with your expectations. Otherwise, I'm sorry, we'll have to end this here. 1-4.
Pass.
Also, our budget for this role is 40 to 60,000 per month. I can't go over that. I can offer you 45,000 per month, which is a fair number because you also have a career gap right at the start of your career. And it will take a lot of time for you to come up to speed also, if we hire you. 3 sevens.
Bluff. But in my first conversation with the company, I was told the budget is 60 to 80,000 rupees. That's why I quoted just 65,000 because I know I have a career gap.
I didn't expect he would know the actual budget. Someone from my team must have told him the budget in the early stages because they obviously didn't know then that he had a career gap. This will become unnecessarily difficult for me now since one of my bluffs has been caught. So he will have some leverage for some time. Let me try to reverse the leverage. Yeah, that was the budget, but for people with 2 to 3 years of experience. You just have 1 year of experience at what? 24 years of age? So honestly, we will be taking a risk if we were to hire you. 2 aces.
Again, a bluff. No, they wouldn't be taking a risk because I topped the aptitude round, I performed well in the technical rounds. The only reason I'm sitting here is because I'm a safe bet for them. I can't let her affect my confidence. I have two options. I can call out her bluff right away, or I can let a few cards stack on the table and then see where it goes. Pass. No, I get that, but let me assure you that it's not going to be a risk for you. I've performed well in all of the technical rounds, so there must be some merit to my candidature.
You have performed well, that's true, but let's be fair. Those tests are just supposed to be entry filters. Performing well in an aptitude or an SQL test doesn't actually translate to the work you'll be required to do in the real job, which is my bigger concern that when you do come back to office, you'll take a lot of time to get used to the environment again. 2 aces.
Bluff.
By the way, I still don't know what's the reason behind your career gap.
I had some issues back home, so I had to travel back. I requested my firm for work from home, but then they said it might not work out because I had not told them when I'd be back. So then I had to quit, unfortunately. No matter how hard I try to move away from it, this conversation will keep coming back to my career gap because that allows for her to lowball me. It's unfortunate for me, but I have to embrace that negative in my profile and negotiate from there. I will be expected to compromise. And in fact, I am willing to compromise. If this works out, I get a promotion in terms of the role, I get a pay increase, and right now, even more important than those two things, is for me to restart my career, even if it comes at a minor cost. Their actual budget is 60 to 80,000. Even if I can close it for 50 or 55,000, it's still a win for her and a win for me.
That's unfortunate. Full disclosure, some companies really are like that though. Not like us though, we're actually offering you a chance when you get a higher pay, a better designation, and a chance to restart your career.
45,000 is still very low, but even if we just consider the inflation, which was what, 14% last year and then 5% this year, comes to about 40,000. And even a year back, before I quit, I was going to get a promotion with a 50% hike. So 45,000 is going to be a very big step down for me. 2 jacks.
Bluff. So you're telling me the company that did not allow you to work from home was going to give you a 50% hike? The world is not that ideal, Anmol. If they cared for you, they would have fought to keep you. Anyway, I can bump it up to 50K, but let's close this now. Before we dive back into our negotiation, let me take a quick moment to tell you about today's sponsor, Odoo. Odoo's comprehensive CRM application is designed to streamline your sales process and boost your team's efficiency. As part of Odoo's all in one business management suite featuring over 45 applications, the CRM tool transforms how you track leads and close deals. Take their intuitive Kanban view, for instance, which presents each opportunity and lead as a clear, information rich card that you can effortlessly drag between pipeline stages. With built in communication tools, you can schedule tasks, manage emails, and even leverage ChatGPT integration for quick responses, all from one centralized platform. Their integrated analytics dashboard gives you real time insights into your team's performance and revenue forecasts, helping you make data driven decisions. Whether you're a startup finding your feet or an established business looking to scale, Odoo grows with you. The best part, your first Odoo application is free for life, including unlimited hosting and support. As your business expands, you can seamlessly add more applications from their extensive suite to match your evolving needs. Ready to revolutionize your customer relationship management? Visit Odoo through the link in the description and pinned comment below. Transform your business operations today with Odoo's powerful, user friendly platform. Now, let's get back to the negotiation. So, you're telling me the company that did not allow you to work from home was going to give you a 50% hike? The world is not that ideal, Anmol. If they cared for you, they would have fought to keep you. Anyway, I can bump it up to 50k, but let's close this now. It's usually not the candidate's fault. I really don't think he was bluffing intentionally here. He himself might not know that his company might just be promising him something that they never had any intention of fulfilling. That's just the way most of the market is. Candidates, especially at the entry level, are a dime a dozen. It's not really that hard to replace them, and in the end, it just becomes a matter of avoiding inconvenience of finding the replacement. Companies will not skip a beat if trying to retain you even slightly crosses the acceptable inconvenience level. But regardless, a bluff is a bluff, and me catching it just brings back some leverage to my case.
No, I really appreciate your offer. In fact, my career gap has been messing up my chances to get a job. I must have applied to 200 job offers. I got a call back from 12 and I've not reached the salary discussion stage a lot. What I've tried to do just now is called the law of candor. It's a branding or marketing principle, but since a negotiation is like you trying to sell yourself, your brand, it applies here. Law of candor. When you accept a few flaws, when you become vulnerable, when you give your audience a small win, or as in this case, an ego boost, they will usually get more receptive to consider your ask more favorably. It might go against conventional wisdom to think that if you show an imperfect image of yourself, you'll actually be perceived as more valuable. But think about it. Trust is something which is always in high demand and always in low supply, especially in a negotiation setting where it has unfortunately become the norm to bluff. Good old authenticity becomes more valuable than any other skill in that situation. Then even a negotiation, which is essentially competition, becomes cooperation. The final condition on that being that you can convert the admitted negative into a promised positive. So I'll try to do exactly that. Convert the negative into a positive. We both know that I stand to lose more. I need this role more than you need me for the role, which means I have to work extra hard just to be in the race. I know there'll be hundreds of other people who can fill this role immediately, but they'd also be more expensive. They would expect a salary in the 60 to 80,000 rupee range. And they might be more complacent. I, on the other hand, I will have to work 200% every day, and I will work my 200% every day. And I will ask just 55,000 for that. That is also below your budget. 2 twos.
Pass. I didn't think he was bluffing this time. For a candidate with such a big negative in his profile, he sure is very confident. Of course, he could be bluffing the confidence, but that's very hard to pull off. And I really don't think he was lying just then. Because Anmol, like every other candidate I've ever interviewed, has some very obvious signs while bluffing. Every person has a unique tell. Anmol's tell is that he purses his lips and takes a gulp nervously. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, 55k is still a little steep though. Let me see if I can bump it up for you to 50k as your base and add a few perks on top of it. We do offer a generous relocation bonus of 50,000 if you require it.
One ace.
Yes. 2 aces.
But you already live in Bangalore, right? Yeah. Then I won't be able to get you that much. Bluff. I can get you 10,000 since you'd be relocating within the city. Fair?
But we do get Saturdays off, right? My previous firm had Saturdays off. 2 aces.
Bluff. You used to work for Sai Infotech, right?
Yeah.
As far as I know, they had working Saturdays.
Saturdays were not working per se. So what the culture was like, we used to finish most of our work by Friday. So we just logged in on Saturday to see if there were any fires to quell. Saturdays were mostly off only.
Okay, we have a similar policy here. Though ideally, you should be working harder to catch up. Of course, we're not going to force that upon you, but I was hoping you would feel that need on your own. But anyways, let's close this at 50k. I think that's a fair number considering everything.
In the end, it all comes down to your confidence. What cards you have won't matter as much as the confidence with which you are able to sell them. I can't control my cards. I can't control my subconscious tells. What I can do is lean into them. Accept the negative, turn it to a positive. I know the tells I make every time I have to bluff. So I've been consciously leading more into my subconscious tell. 2 aces. In hopes to sell my biggest bluff. 2 aces. With confidence. The only reason I'm asking for 55,000 is because I have a standing offer of 55,000 from one other company. 4 aces.
Too many candidates bluff about having a standing offer. And then there are some who just go offer shopping, collecting offer letters after offer letters. Frankly, those are the ones who you can never guarantee will join, and more often than not, ghost the company after getting a better offer. And ironically, the ones bluffing about the offer letter are more likely to join. I don't even know if he's bluffing. I have a feeling he is, but it's risky for me to even try to call that out, because on the off chance that he's not bluffing, I will lose all leverage.
The biggest service you can do to yourself is to get yourself an offer letter as backup before your most important negotiation. It is the biggest leverage you will have. I unfortunately don't have that leverage, so I have to fake that and just pray I don't get called out.
Okay, I don't normally do this, but we can offer you 55k. We'll match your offer provided you can share your offer letter with us for internal verification.
Sure, I wouldn't mind, but I don't think I'm allowed to share it.
But then am I supposed to just take your word for it? Unless you can provide me with your other offer letter, I will be compelled to believe that you don't really have an offer letter.
If all else fails, you should be ready to walk away. Your readiness to decline the offer is your second biggest leverage. The inconvenience for the company to look out for another hire or close someone else after having invested so much time to your profile will outweigh any benefit they might have in hiring someone else. And this is one of those things where you can't bluff. You should actually be ready to walk away for it to sound convincing. No, I'm not asking you to just take my word for it. I'm really not allowed to share it.
Okay. Plus.
That said, I'll be very truthful and say that I really want to join here. But if it's not 55,000, I won't be able to join. I'm resuming my career after so long. Every extra rupee counts at this point. I was told the budget was 60 to 80,000 and I'm willing to join even below that. But I really can't go below 55,000. I can join immediately and I have no notice period. So the ball really is in your court. 4 aces.
He's making fair points. I don't really care if he has another offer letter or not. I can get him below the budget. He has no notice period and he had really performed well in all the technical rounds and the aptitude round. He will be a good hire for the company. Whether he was bluffing about the offer or not doesn't really matter now, since he has proved his candidature to the company. Some bluffs are anyways expected in a negotiation. Okay, let's close it at 55K. Happy to have you on board, and I'll mail you the offer letter in a while.
Thank you.